Hello, it is Lynx here, and today I am going to be reading I Can Be Anyone You Want by Cherry Bombka. First of all, before we get started, I apologize if this video is late. It is currently 3:22, which is like 40 minutes before this is supposed to be out, so let's hope it's done in time. So without further ado, let's get into the information. This fic is rated general audiences and no archive warnings apply. It is a Toga and Uraraka ship. Be mindful of that. It has 3,500 words and is a one-shot. So, let's get started. Summary. Himiko Toga can become anyone she wants, anyone that anyone wants, but no one has ever wanted her to be just herself. When she's 5, she meets a certain future hero at a park and decides maybe someone might want her as she is after all, or time after time of Himiko Toga and Ochako Uraraka dancing around each other until they have no choice but to embrace each other directly. So, let's get with this. The first time Himiko Toga saw Ochako Uraraka, they were 5 years old. Himiko's quirk had recently manifested, but it was fun. Blood was pretty. Red was her new favorite color. But her parents didn't seem to agree with any of those statements. In fact, they were pretty upset with her right now. Himiko had found the cutest little bird. It must have fallen out of its nest or something, because it was bleeding. The soft feathers tinged in her favorite color? How could she resist? Himiko had to taste it, had to feel closer to the little bird, and her parents were mad. They yelled at her. They called her a monster, said she wasn't normal. "Get out of my face. I don't even want to look at you right now," her mother had said. Himiko was so sad. Why was Mommy being mean? She just wanted to play with the little birdie. So, with her face still stained red except for where her tear tracks were, Himiko left. She got out of her mother's face as ass. She wandered over to a playground, sat under a big tree, and cried. It's not fair. She was just doing what everyone else would do. Right? So why was she in trouble? Why was she getting yelled at and sent away? She looked up when she heard a little a super cute girl was a few feet away, picking another dandelion for the collection she seemed to be picking. She had brown hair that looked soft as the bird's feathers, and her cheeks were so pink they were almost red. Himiko thinks this color may almost be just as pretty too. The little girl looked up and seemed to be taking in Himiko's appearance. Her face bunched up into a look of determination, and the little girl marched right on over. "It's okay, I'll take care of you," the little girl proclaimed. "You don't need to cry, I'll make it better. I'm gonna be a hero." That was the first time Himiko heard the word hero. It made her chest feel funny. And then the little girl leaned over and gave her a soft little kiss on the cheek. "There, now you don't have to be so sad because I kissed it better and you won't hurt anymore." Oh, how she wished that were true. Then the girl handed over one of her dandelions. "The color matches your hair, it's pretty." Himiko just looked up at her new hero in awe. "Anyway," the girl said, "I have to go back to my mommy and daddy now. I hope you stop hurting soon." And the little girl ran back to her parents and proudly presented them with the bouquet she picked. Even from a distance, their love and pride were visible. Himiko wanted that too. So much. Himiko decided she really liked that girl, her hero. She even learned what a hero meant. She had asked her parents, who seemed thrilled to offer a positive role model for her. So they described what a hero was and told her she couldn't be one if she kept trying to drink blood. That made her unhappy because why can't she just be a blood hero? But anyway, she decided she wanted to see her hero again. She stayed far away and watched the girl play on the same playground. From her looking about, Himiko learned the girl's name was Ochako Uraraka. Ochako-chan. Ochan! It was perfect. The cutest name for the cutest girl she'd ever seen. Himiko was too nervous to go near her again. She thought she saw Ochan wave at her once, but she hid behind a tree until the girl was called home for lunch. What if she was wrong? What if Ochan thought she was creepy and bad too? Her parents would think so. Her mom yelled at her and dragged her away from the playground once. That isn't how she wanted Ochan to hear her name. It should have been a soft, sweet introduction, not the product of punishment. She was too young to name it, but she didn't ever want her name being associated with punishment for the pink-cheeked girl. She can't even be herself at school. Her classmates aren't being nice. Just because she talks about blood a lot doesn't make her a vampire. It doesn't make her mean. It doesn't make her scary, right? She can't risk Ochan thinking that about her too, so Himiko goes about it a different way. Her way. The first time she got the chance to try, it was pure luck. One of the kids Ochan had been playing with fell and scraped her knee. She walked away from the group, embarrassed, and Himiko offered to help her. After cleaning up the girl and promising to tell her friends bye so she could go home with her mom, Himiko sucked up the blood on the tissue and she used on the girl. Himiko transformed into this other person and spent the afternoon playing with Ochan and her friends. She thought that maybe Ochan knew for a minute. She looked a little too long at her eyes, but nothing was said, and they played for an hour. Sadly, that's all the time she had with the amount of blood she got, so she had to say bye and leave. Back to watching from the trees. Maybe one day she'll get to play for real, as herself. Himiko has gotten to do this several times throughout the years. Lucky for her, playing kids usually equals a lot of scraped knees and elbows. As they grew up, Himiko started having to get blood from other means. She would use quick pricks of a needle or the occasional paper cut, enough to get a bit so she could see her favorite hero for even 20 minutes. Every single time, Himiko gets this feeling in her belly. It's fluttery, like a butterfly. She knows. She swears Ochan knows. She always gets this look on her face. Maybe Ochan really does see her. Things at home have gotten worse, though. Her parents are getting worse. Bullying at school is getting worse. A girl can only take so much. She just wants to show her love. Why can't anyone understand? She's sure Ochan would. She loved Ochan. She wants to tell her all about the crush she has on some boy from school. If only Ochan knew the real her. The boy is super cute with dark curly hair and freckles. She is completely in love with him. She wants to be just like him. She wants to be him, not herself. Monstrous, weird, crazy. So she decided it would be better to become him after all. In hindsight, someone should have seen this coming. A girl can only take so much, remember? An adult should have caught it. Should have realized the damage that was being done. Should have intervened before Himiko decided she had no choice but to go through with becoming this boy and snapped. She attacked him. She sucked his blood. She almost took too much. Then a hero got involved. The hero wasn't nice. He wasn't cute. He was mean. And now Himiko could no longer attend her school, and her parents wanted nothing to do with her. It was all this hero's fault. She hates heroes. They ruin everything. They take away the things she loves. But Ochan wants to be a hero. Maybe Ochan wasn't who Himiko thought she was. Maybe she should just be Ochako from now on. Himiko was in love again. Mr. Staney was so cute. He was always covered in blood, and he hated the heroes too. He called them out for being fakes. She wanted to be just like him. So, after those mean old heroes took Mr. Staney away, Himiko decided to do something about it. She joined up with the League of Villains, and they began their ruthless and methodical takedown of hero society as the world knew it. Nothing would stand in their way. There's this hero school, UA. They pump out heroes like crazy, and therefore, they needed to go. The League has a plan. Attack the training camp. There will be a bunch of hero students in the woods with no way to contact anyone else. It's perfect. Himiko's job is to collect at least 3 blood samples so they could use it to break into the school when the time is right. She got a super cute mask and everything, plus a new system to help her suck blood faster. There's no way she wouldn't succeed, and maybe she'll even get to make some new friends while she's there. Apparently, she was supposed to re-meet an old friend instead. Standing in front of Himiko, looking beautiful as ever, was Ochako. She's with a girl who has green hair, and they're holding hands. An ugly, dark feeling sinks through Himiko's entire being. Who is this girl holding hands with her friend? And why does she get the right to be so open in her affections when Himiko was forced to hide behind trees and paper cuts? Why is Ochako looking at Himiko like that? Himiko doesn't take any chances and lunges, knife swinging wildly as she slashes at the 2 girls. The green-haired one shoves Ochako out of the way and takes a knife on the tongue for her efforts. While Himiko is busy trying to collect the blood of someone she knows will get close to her old friend if needed, Ochako gets her pinned to the floor. It surprises her and kind of excites her. She'll have to reflect more on that later. For now, she takes advantage of her position and gets a needle in Ochako's leg, getting a blood sample of her too. Everything is going according to the plan until the most amazing thing happens. The cutest and bloodiest boy Himiko has ever seen comes out of nowhere. She hears Ochako call him Deku. This must be the boy Shigaraki wants to get rid of. But now Ochako is looking at someone else that isn't her. That just won't do. Using the distraction to her advantage, Himiko kicks her way out from under Ochako and runs off. Thinking back, she swears she heard Ochako whisper a soft dandelion while she ran away. She thinks about that a lot. The League has fought the hero students several times now. Each time she encounters the girl who was so special to her in her childhood, she feels like she sees something there, a flicker of recognition, a moment of deep thought. It's never enough to stop Ochako from doing what she has to do to stop a villain, but maybe it will be more significant to her. Maybe there's hope for that childhood connection after all. Maybe she still looks like that dandelion. She's been with the League for a while now. They're the family that she always wanted and never had. She loves them all. Even the ones that take the heroes away from her, especially Jin. The heroes ruin everything. She's always losing someone because of them. Her friends at school, her parents, and now her family. They took Jin, so she will take them all. Recently, Himiko has learned a few things about her quirk. Not only can she become someone, but if she loves them, she can use their quirk. She found that out at the same time she found out what that feeling in her stomach and chest meant when she thought about the girl from her childhood. She loved Ochako and used her quirk to kill that reporter and her friends. She loved Jin, and now she'll use his quirk to kill everyone else. All Himiko has ever known is love and loss. Now, she can't even access that love anymore. Her loss is overwhelming and all-consuming. She hurts, and now she wants everyone else to feel that hurt too. She gets that opportunity almost a year later when the war breaks out. She has been festering in her grief and anger and hatred, practicing over and over again how to use the quirks of people she turns into. She's been saving Jin's blood for this very moment. Even though he's gone, he's still with her, and now together, they're going to destroy it all. They will make the heroes pay for what they took. This overwhelming, ugly brokenness inside her has made Himiko strong. And now, the heroes will find out what happens when they take away the people she loves. Of course, she didn't plan to end up facing off against her once-beloved Ochako, or her friend whose name she came to learn was Sue. She also didn't plan for little Izuku to join them either. It seems there are so many people determined to take up Ochako's attention. But when Himiko released Sad Man's Death Parade, no one will be able to ignore her anymore. There will be no more avoiding the monster of their making. Himiko spares a moment to remember how upset she was over that word the day she first met Ochako. Funny what time can do. Himiko is multiplying at an alarming rate, and as she goes to make her escape towards where Hawks is located, there's a grab on her wrist. Whipping her head around to see who would dare, she locks eyes with Ochako, Himiko's real eyes, and Himiko can't take it. "Don't you dare pity me!" she screams, stabbing Ochako in the gut with a knife. The look in Ochako's eyes is anything but what Himiko could have expected. Instead of anger, there's understanding. Instead of a cold disdain, there's warmth and recognition, and then Ochako speaks. "I remember you." And Himiko freezes. She snaps out of it with a scoff. "If you didn't, I'd be concerned about a hemorrhage so quickly." "No," Ochako wheezes out. "I remember you. From when we were young, the dandelion." Himiko feels every feeling she's ever buried, trying to claw their way out through her throat. She punches Ochako in the face and yells, "Why won't you just die?" Ochako gives her a weak smile. "I remember the day I learned your name. In my head, I called you Himi-chan." Himiko feels her breathing come faster, shallow. "I remember seeing you crying that day and deciding I wanted to make sure you never had a reason to cry again. I remember seeing you in other people. I remember you. It took me a while to put the pieces together. I'm sorry for making you wait." Himiko feels her world spiraling. She's looking into the face of the girl she loved for all those years, through all those stupid girlhood crushes on bloody boys, and she's watching her light fade. At the same time, she feels Jin's blood fading too. He'll be gone for real, and the only girl she's ever loved will leave too. She'll be alone. "Do you think a few nice words will make everything okay? You can't fix this. You can't bring him back. Do you need to like me to die already? I can make you like me. I can be anyone you want. Is this what you want?" And she turns into Izuku. She's seen the blushes, but Ochako doesn't budge. "Fine. How about this then? Is it this better?" She takes the form of Sue. They were together during that camp. They protected each other. They got hurt for each other. Maybe this will work. "You can't make me normal." Ochako cut her off. "And what is normal? For me, normal is kissing the bloody cheek of a stranger because she was too cute to be sad. For me, normal is looking for that girl in every person I spoke to because sometimes I knew it was her somehow. For me, normal spending my dying breath trying to convince this special girl about how much she means. Maybe I'm the one who's not normal, and I can't bring your friend back. I'm sorry. I'll never be able to fill that spot in your heart. You made a family with the League. I remember what your mom said that day when she yelled at you in the park. I can't replace your family, but I like to be part of it, even if only for the few minutes I have left." Himiko didn't even realize she was crying until her tears fell on Ochako's face, mirroring the tear tracks Himiko herself had the day they met. "You think I'm cute?" Himiko didn't know why this was the part she clung to, made the rest hurt too much. Maybe it was the hardest part to believe. Maybe it was the thing that filled her with hope. "The cutest girl in the world." Ochako replied, her breath slowing, body shivering as the cold started to seep into her bones. She was dying. Images flashed between the two young women. They were 5 years old again, meeting for the first time. Himiko was still crying, and Ochako was still savoring her, offering her blood rather than shaming her, always trying to help. Himiko knew what she had to do. "Ochan, I'm sorry. I can't take back what I did, but I can help. I can give you blood." Pulling out her last vial of blood, Himiko becomes the girl she's loved since she was 5 years old. I can give you a transfusion. She uses her needles and hooks them up, letting the blood flow between them. As the color starts to return to Ochako's cheeks, turning them closer to the pink they should always be, Worry takes up home there too. Himi, please, you can't give it all, you'll die. I know. Himiko lays down next to Ochako and lets her vision fade out to the side of those big brown eyes focused solely on her. To say Himiko was shocked to wake up is an understatement. Ochako stayed by her side from the moment a paramedic arrived, and she insisted on Himiko getting treated first. It was because of this that Himiko lived long enough to recover and start therapy. Treatment was long and painful. Having to confront all of the trauma was the biggest obstacle she ever had to face, but she did it, and this time she wouldn't have to do it alone. She was supported through every step of her recovery. She was given patience and understanding, true understanding, for the first time in her life. Where her parents apologized for her existence, Ochako celebrated it. It took a long time, but eventually they found their footing to become equals, then to genuine friendship. It took even longer and a lot more therapy, but eventually they found their way into love. Not the fixated and obsessive love of childhood and trauma bonding, but the love of two people who authentically cared for and respected each other. After a few years of enjoying that, they found their way towards marriage. It was the solidarity of their relationship that encouraged them both to begin the next phases in their lives. Ochako opened the quirk counseling center that focused on villainous or dangerous quirks, specializing in reforming villains and making sure that no child ever fell through the cracks of the system and an unsupportive family the way Himiko did again. It wasn't perfect, but it made a difference in so many lives. Himiko learned from that fateful day that she could be a blood hero after all. With her quirk, she was basically a universal donor. She went to school and got her degree and then opened her very own blood clinic. She performed thousands of transfusions. She hired others with different types of blood-related quirks. Someone who was in charge of making sure all the donated blood was clean. Someone who screened for blood-borne illnesses and pathogens before donation. Someone who made the transfusion process quicker. Even Vlad King would sometimes drop by and use his blood manipulation quirk to stop bleeding if someone had a poor reaction to the transfusion needle. She was finally saving lives with her quirk, and for the first time she was getting praise for her quirk. She was being met with excitement and awe rather than fear and judgment. Together, the two of them were making changes in society in any way they could, both considered heroes in their own right, one more traditionally and the other medically. However, there was one area where they were both equal heroes: their son, Jin. He was dropped off at Ochako's clinic when he was still a newborn. Technology had improved enough at this point that quirk type could be identified through testing at a much younger age. After learning that the baby would have a blood-related quirk, his biological parents left him in the safe haven box at the clinic and never returned. The women only needed to see him once to know he was theirs. They adopted him, named him after Himiko's dear old friend, and vowed to raise him with all the loving compassion he deserved. He thinks his moms are doing great. They are exactly who they want to be, and they are so happy. Alright, that was so cute, and I absolutely loved it. It was so fun to do, and you could hear the emotion in my voice. I bet you could. But I enjoyed it so much. And thank you guys for listening. So remember to eat, sleep, drink your water, and take your meds. And remember, kids, be do and crime gay.